so welcome back to the Badlands podcast. Here with Daniel Smith, which I just learned actually isn't Daniel Smith. It's your alias.
Yep, Daniel Ruano.
And so you made that so you could search Marketplace.
I didn't have a YouTube, or I didn't have a Facebook account, and I didn't really want one.
Yeah.
But I got to shop Marketplace because...
Dude, you got a lowball.
Dude.
My guy.
Craigslist just like went downhill, and everyone's like, you gotta go to Marketplace,
Craigslist is still a thing. I haven't been on there in a minute.
Some people will be like, oh, have you checked Craigslist? I'm like, and I will check sometimes,
Yeah.
but it seems so hard to get a hold of people, and like...
That might be the hidden
right?
treasure for off-road stuff, because you got guys that have treasures.
I know, right? These older guys just like, no one wants to buy this thing, you know, no one's hitting them up. My brother always sends me stuff on OfferUp. I'm like, I deleted that app. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you never use that either. The Marketplace is so brutal though when you have something for sale and then you just get is this available? And you're like, yeah, dude, come get it. And then they don't respond. You're like,
I'm like,
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been buddies on Instagram for, I don't know, a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we started the forum, you got on there.
Yep.
And then we finally, after chatting on the forum a bunch, finally in the King of the Hammers thread linked up for the run that we did.
Latino Wash. Yeah. That was a good run.
Yeah, so that was a good one. And we had, what do we have, like?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 rigs. I think one of them turned back, which was a clean forerunner.
Yeah.
I still follow that guy, and that thing's so cherry.
Yeah, no sliders.
I think he would have been fine after he got through that section, but I wasn't going to push him.
There's just the one section where we took the bonus line off to the right, and then you have to squeeze through. That's like the hard section.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard, but if you're not wanting to get any body damage.
Yes, it's weird. It's deceiving because like I saw videos before I had done Latino Wash ever, and it looked like a gnarly squeeze.
Yeah.
But I mean, your buddy's Sequoia like freaking just shot through that thing, and it's like not as bad. Maybe it washed out and like filled it in more.
Exactly. But, who knows? But so let's start it off with how did you get into wheeling? So
wheeling. I mean, growing up BMX.
Okay.
Not racing.
Yeah.
It's just like freestyle BMX all the time.
Are we talking like dirt jumping?
Yes.
Or like park at all?
As I was younger, it was all like dirt jumping all when I was younger. Just, digging your own junk and like, stuff. Didn't have iPads back then. So Saturday morning, like I would just with a shovel. And then
and out there in the desert?
Out there, I live in a place called Elizabeth Lake, which is like in the mountains between the AV and Santa Cruz. It's like right at the top pretty much.
Got it.
So I did BMX growing up, then park once I started getting like a little older. In like high school, we were hitting a lot of park stuff.
Sure.
And then dirt bikes, things like that. Then I got my license, and dude, my dad got me the sweetest truck. It was just like luck. It wasn't like super expensive or anything, but it was a 1986 Toyota pickup, single cab, and it had the 22RE turbo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, dude. And like I didn't know what that was at the time. I was just like, yeah, it's a cool truck. And then it's like got a turbo. I was like, that's cool, I guess,
Yeah.
Dude, that truck was awesome. I guess it was pretty rare. I hadn't seen I don't see them very often, being a 4x4 manual and turbo and single cab for that matter.
Sure.
And at the time I was really, I started like off-roading that one. I didn't have money to like pre-runner it and stuff. So it was just like lifted on like 33s, and then we would go down to, all my buddies lived in Palmdale, and there's a tunnel down there that goes like underneath the town. It's probably like a quarter mile long.
Oh, really?
And there's like 3 lines that you can take, and trucks fit through them. And one of them's a dead end, and then the other 2 go out, and then at the end it like has like a ramp, and then it goes to a wash. So we would like race through it. And like every so often you get like a little slit that's open, that's like a man door. So you're like racing, and like every time a slit goes, you say, oh, I'm ahead of him, or dude. So like you're getting it. And then everyone else is at the end, and like you come out and like jump and stuff. We're just tearing up our trucks.
Yeah.
My buddy had like a Ranger, like didn't like just basic lift stuff.
Yeah.
If you had Fab Tick back then, you were cool.
For sure.
So I did that, regular off-roading like that. Then I met my buddy, his name was Tyler London, and he was like into rock crawling, and it was like new to me. And dude, once he opened up my eyes to that, the first trail I did was like Last Chance Canyon, and I was like dude, amazed. Like
Yeah.
these things crawl up
Yeah.
this stuff. Like some of like the
Oh,
things they
totally.
go through.
I
was
still
like,
feel like that on some of this stuff. I'm like, dude,
Dude.
you can't go up that.
yeah. So it was like weird, like so cool to me and
Yeah,
stuff. My
yeah.
dad didn't let me take my truck out there for a bit because he was like, "You're just gonna break it. That's your daily driver," you know, and
Yeah.
stuff. But he finally caved, and then ever since I had met him, I was just like into it. And one of the things that he introduced me to was called the Peterson's 4-Wheel Magazine. Did a run every year, and it was called the Ultimate Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And they would start someplace unknown in the U.S. and like everybody, all the participants, usually 20 rigs or so, and then they'd have 5 readers, and the readers would get voted in.
Mm-hmm.
People would like put in their magazine days. You'd send in your spiel on your truck and pictures, and then people would vote on it, and then those guys would get voted in. And so they would do 7 days of 4-wheeling, and usually it was like they would start one day, and then the first day they would go 4-wheeling on like a hard park. And then the second day they drive 300 miles to somewhere else, and then
you gotta drive your rig.
you gotta drive, no trailer. That's like one of the big rules of Ultimate Adventure,
Yeah.
Unreal Adventure is no trailers.
Sure.
So I've always focused my builds on that because they have DVDs. So like anytime we were in the garage, that's what we mostly did was like in the garage, trying to figure out how to bend tube, taking apart diffs and how do you weld this thing,
Yeah.
So, and we always had Ultimate Adventure DVDs on in the background, or their buddy's sitting there looking at the magazines. So then I was like hardcore into that for like a while. Then like that buddy unfortunately passed away, and so like
Oh man.
some of my buddies kind of stayed into wheeling. I have a buddy Josh that he was a good friend with him too, and like he stayed into pretty good. He had a pretty bitchin' K5 Blazer. And then my brother Steven, he got a 4Runner. So like I got a 4Runner later on because I had that Toyota pickup, which I loved. But being in high school and like always going out with friends, I always needed more room. It was just 2 seats.
Sure.
So I really wanted a first gen 4Runner, and I saved up one summer and bought an '89 4Runner, and it was like lifted with the IFS on 33s, which were like huge to me back then.
Yeah.
And then it had the 3.0 in it, and then I wheeled that. I like did kind of basic stuff to that. No, I solid axled that thing finally. It took me forever to get a solid axle kit, and what it was I still had my Toyota Turbo, and my brother wanted a rig, and I found a guy up in Hollister area that wanted my truck, and he had a 85 Toyota 4Runner. So it was like fuel injected and already had the solid axle.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother wanted that one, and so I was like, hey, like I'll trade him. Because the guy wanted to trade. I was like, I'll trade him my truck. You can have the 4Runner, but then I want you to pay for my solid axle swap for the parts.
Yeah.
So then I think the brand, did I get the All Pro one? I think I got the All Pro at that time. Maybe the Trail Gear had to come out with it at that time. I did. I got the Trail Gear one, but they made me get the, because I had the 6-cylinder, I had to get the 5-inch springs or the 6-inch springs in the front because they wouldn't warranty the other ones. Those are the only ones that were heavy duty at the time. So like, solid axle swapped it. It was kind of tall. I was running like 35s, I think. Open still. And then so I wheeled the crap out of that thing. I ended up rolling that in the snow.
Oh no.
I was coming up to meet a group and I was late, and they were coming up one side and I was coming up the other, and we are doing like a barbecue thing at the top. And so I was like, man, I gotta get there, and I was alone. And then somebody went four-wheeling like the night before and left their junk right in the middle of the road.
Oh no.
So I'm like, all right. So I like back up, and then I pull up over onto the side. There's like a flat spot on the side. And then I go to get around them, and I go to get back down onto like the actual fire road, but it's all snow drift, and I didn't know that it was a drop off.
Yeah.
So as soon as like my passenger went over, I just like flopped over.
Dude.
So I rolled it there, and like I crawl out, like I was fine thankfully, but I'm just like, crap. And I'm like, well, crap, those guys are like up the mountain. I don't know if they're coming this way. They might go back down. So I'm like, all right. So I started hoofing it like towards them.
Yeah.
And it was probably like, I think from where I rolled to where they were like doing their little barbecue thing, it was probably like 5 miles.
Wow.
So I like start going in the snow. I'm like in Vans, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm like exhausted
Is
coming out.
this at night or?
This is like morning,
Okay,
thankfully.
okay,
It's
yeah,
like a
okay.
Saturday morning. So then,
and where was this at?
This is up by where I live. It's up by a campground called Sawmill.
Okay.
And they were going up to a higher campground called Bear Camp. And so I'm like going, and then luckily they like were coming down. And like they were like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Like I was probably like, I was just like exhausted and stuff. I didn't think it was a big deal, but they were like freaking out about it, which was probably right so.
Yeah.
So they gave me a ride back. They had like a winch. We winched it back over, pulled the plugs, and like my windshield is all crunched in and stuff. So we got it started, and I drove it home.
Toyota.
We're like terrible day of my life.
Yeah.
Came home.
How long ago was this?
This was like, oh man, what year was that? I would have to guess that was probably like 2000. Did I have my wife then? Probably like 2009.
Okay.
2008 or 2009, I would say.
Man.
So then I got this 4Runner here, pretty good parts on it and stuff. And then I saved up again, and I bought a second gen because I was like, well, I love having the back seat. All my buddies come, but I'm getting tired of folding my seat forward every time because with the type of wheeling we do, you get to an obstacle, everyone gets out, spots and stuff like that. At least when we were younger and stuff like that was part of the fun of it. So then I'm like, I want 4 doors, and so I start like checking things out and like comparing them on like different on the newer body to mine. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do I want to take all the parts off? Can I just do a body swap? It turns out that those I had gotten a 1991, which was like just one more year, or 91, mm-hmm. 91, and all the body mounts lined up except for 2. So it was eight body mounts, and only 2 of them didn't line up. So I just chopped those things off, did the whole body swap. Wiring was a nightmare, especially for the dash and gauges. Dude, each wire one at a time. I had a whole freaking notepad of just like what goes where and stuff. I'm surprised any of it worked. So I like got that, had some buddies come over, we lifted it up, like put some 4x4s across, lifted it over, put it on. And I really love the removable top, so I chopped the back off right behind the rear passengers, and then put like my rear roll bar in it. Thing was like really liked that for her. That thing was that thing did me solid for a lot of years. Once I had it on that, I didn't like being so tall and tippy, so I'm like I want Chevy axles. But I mean I'm like still like not on the best budget, so I came across a set of, it was a 12-bolt rear that was already geared 488s and locked, and a 44 front that was already geared with a locker. So I picked those up. I did like Sky Manufacturing would machine the knuckles, mm-hmm. and did like high steer and they keyed them so that was good. And then put it on 37s, and then I had saved up over summer and did dual cases, 4 7s in the rear. And then I put some National pre-runner springs that I worked for a guy who had like a pre-runner truck, and mm-hmm. he hooked me up with some springs, and I put those in the rear, and everyone's like, those aren't gonna work well. Like, look at the arc on those things and stuff, but they actually were really like they were bitching. Yeah. Those things were good. They were like 11 leaf or so like that. But it leveled it out really nice and like to match the front, and it was good and it was wide. And I wheeled the crap out of that thing for like years. I moved up to, and in that time I had gotten a couple of little rigs. I had gotten a Samurai someone gave to me. I like went and did some like work at their house, and I was like, what's up with that Samurai? And they're like, oh, the clutch is bad on it. You can have it if you want. So I'm like, all right. So I like drug it home. Turns out that the transfer case, it's like a known thing on those transfer cases. They get stuck in neutral. Okay. And like I took it apart, cleaned up the shift rails, and dude, I had a blast with that thing.
I think it was good to go.
Good to go. And then that thing, what did I do with that? I traded that for a K5 Blazer that was like already caged and things like that. It wasn't the nicest, but that was a fun toy for a while. So I had that stuff, and then in 2012 I moved up to Reno for a job. And
what do you do for work?
I'm a heavy equipment mechanic. Okay. Or like that was like I took a job as a heavy equipment mechanic up there, and it was like a 3-year apprenticeship with the state. And like my plan was like I'll go up there, because I had my girlfriend down here and stuff, my family, and I was like I'll go up there 3 years, do my apprenticeship, come back down. But like my girlfriend coming up to visit and stuff, like she liked it up there, I liked it up there, so she was like, let's do it. Let's move over. Let's buy a house up here. So I stayed up there for what ended up being 5 years. And the wheeling up there, dude, is so good. Yeah. I was like, I worked in a place called Truckee. Yeah. And like, I could literally like drive my junk to work. And then when I would get off work, like, all right, I'm going to the con. And like it was from my work, it was probably half hour to get to the trailhead.
So rad.
And then I was like there, and like I would always have like a buddy down at, I'll meet you at the Springs. That was dude, it was some good times.
So you go in through
the Tahoe side. Yeah, Tahoma.
Drop in down Cadillac and
yes.
go hang out and drive back out.
Which was like, we go down there and like hang out for like 2 or 3 nights. We might like make our way to Buck and come back. But for the most part, we hung in the Springs.
And this was in the K5 that you had?
No, the K5 I got rid of pretty quick. I had it for like a little bit. I took it to like Pismo like once or twice and just like little wheeling around here. But I couldn't get it to Smog. It was like a 78. So I think I sold it to my brother-in-law, which wanted it to like use the parts on it and something else. I don't know if I don't think he ever ended up doing anything with it. Excuse me. And then so I'm up in Reno I think I ended up being up there for 5 years. My girlfriend at the time moved up. We got married. We bought a house up there. A really nice house. Had like a 2-car attached and like driveway went to the side and do another 2 garage. Yeah. And dude, I just went crazy back there. I always had like something that I solid axled a few Toyotas there. I had a 4-door Sidekick. Oh, the Sidekick's another story too. I had a 2-door Sidekick that I bought for $500 and put like 33s and slowly built it up. And I probably had the most fun. I had the 4Runner during this time, but I was jumping in that thing because I didn't care about it at all. Sure. The 4Runner I tried to keep clean. I would take it on some of the harder trails, but I tried to keep it clean for the most part. The Sidekick, dude, I would stuff that thing anywhere. Yeah. And most of the time it would surprise me where it came, what it would make it through. And it was just like 33s, IFS with the lift, locker in the rear, and then transfer case gears. And it was a blast until I rolled it terribly at a place called Moon Rocks.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
Dude, Moon Rocks is awesome. Yeah. If anyone ever has a chance to go up there and you want the full experience, don't bring your kids, but go up on Memorial Day. It is wild, dude, you don't even have to wheel. If you just like grab a chair and it's all like the size of a football field and it's all just obstacles everywhere right there and people like light it up. Such a good time. Yeah. But a lot of trouble too.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
it's like a mini like Hammers, like Chocolate Thunder.
It's closer to but it's like the rock formations and stuff, and like it's like a lot like what is that? Cougar Buttes. Okay. Like super grippy. And like wheeling there gave me like a lot of experience. Sure. Like because you either have to be if you got like a full rig, you either have to, if you have a full rig, you have to be a really good driver, or you got something that's not a good, super clean, and you can put it, you don't care. Yeah. And I fell in the middle there somewhere, what I mean? So I wasn't doing like all the hardest lines and stuff, but it like, which ones I would do, it taught me a lot how to do tire placement and stuff like that. Definitely. So I got tons of experience going there, which is a blast. And then, so I was up there doing all my wheeling stuff, and when I was up there, I hooked up with some guys that were called High Desert Crawlers. Okay. And they're the like OG High Desert Crawlers, like they are the ones. I think they've like kind of gotten out of it. I still talk to a few of the guys, but like most of them, they're doing like family stuff. They're one of them, the president, Aaron, like he's just got like a TJ sick, 1 tons all built. He just finished that a couple months ago. He was actually supposed to join me on the Rubicon the other month, like a couple months ago. Yeah. But he had other stuff. His boy's in hockey too. So, oh, really? Okay. And he had tryouts like that Saturday, and it was like right in the middle, so he missed out on that one. But so like, dude, respect to them because they did it right. Like they wheeled really hard. Most of their junk was like built way more than mine, like tube chassis and stuff like that. And but they always let me tag along. They're super cool, and I loved that they like always did like a yearly cleanup, at least one. They did more like 3, I would say. They did like one that they organized, and then another one at Moon Rocks, and then we would probably pick up another one just in like areas that we do trails. Got it. And I love that. I was like, because you got to respect the land. Yeah. You want to keep it open. 100%. And like they're the same thing, same, just like perfect same level as I was when I was before I had moved up there. The 4-wheel drive groups around here, they're cool. I love what they do, and like they are an awesome entry point. But I remember being like a younger kid with my 4Runner, like I want to get into this four-wheeling more and stuff. And we would go to the meetings, and kind of turned out to be like, you know, like older guys
Yeah.
complaining about side by sides, and you know, like, and I'm just like, all right, like, let's do some cleanups, or like let's do some hard runs and stuff like that. And I think like nothing against them. I think they're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I still will with them
Sure.
on some of their stuff. But it just like wasn't like the speed I was looking for.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I found is like the clubs are great, like you said, entry level, but it's like you kind of figure out like there's maybe a few people that you're like, all right, those are the dudes that are my speed,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
kind of link up with them. Like,
Yeah.
that's at least how it was for me.
And funny enough, like the like little club that we got going now, the like SoCal High Desert Crawlers,
Mm-hmm.
those guys, their dad is a part of that group, and I had gone to like one of their events.
Mm-hmm.
They do like pulling the cars out for the fair
Mm-hmm.
when they do like the car races and stuff. So we were hanging out there, and then they saw my little samurai, and they're like, "Hey, like, what's up?" And like I hadn't seen these guys before, but they're like younger and stuff, and like started like BSing with them, and like they seemed really cool. And then they're like, "We're going to Cougar Buttes in like a week or two. You want to go?"
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And
Yeah.
dude, they're such cool guys, and like totally my speed. All their rigs are like better built than mine.
Sure.
They're all like tubed out. They're on like 40s, 42s. They're really cool guys.
Yeah.
And they know how to build. Like all their stuff's like built well, but they beat the crap out of it.
Sure. Sure.
But
So you moved. So you were up in Reno.
Yeah.
5 years.
Sorry,
and then-
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So then you.
we had a kid, and then we already had an 8-year-old, and
Okay.
she was good. She was like a, you know, what they call a turnkey kid.
Sure.
She would like wake up, get herself to school, which was down the street, and then like we were okay then. But then we had another kid, and it was rough. Like I had to get up at like 4 a.m, and so I had to get the baby up, get her to daycare, and like so we're like juggling all this stuff. And then like we had like an emergency where my wife had to go to the ER in the middle of the night, and like we were like, well, what do we do with these kids? And like we didn't know anyone like super well,
Mm-hmm.
so we ended up like giving it to one of her coworkers like in the middle of the night. And like I think that was like kind of the clencher on it. Like she kind of was like, you know what, it's just not feeling like home. We go visit down south once a month at least. We're always going down there. It's like it's just not feeling like home, and it's hard.
Yeah.
So we moved back down, you know, because her parents live in the Court Hill area. My parents are, you know, still in Elizabeth Lake, and they're like 15 minutes away from each other.
Sure.
So we moved back down in 2017.
Okay.
Luckily, with my job working for the state, it was like super easy to transfer.
Sure.
So then we moved down, and then I guess that's when, like I said, coming back down, I don't have my 4-wheel drive group up there anymore, and like. My buddies up down here kind of gone on with their lives. They got rid of their rigs, or they're down and things like that. And one of my brothers is really into like the desert stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at the time, like they're like all side by side. So they're all going out to Jawbone, Dove Springs, making camp. Kids ride around the camp and stuff. And then they do destination rides and then come back to camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always built my stuff like, no, you load all the camping gear in your truck,
Yeah.
and then you go.
Yeah.
So then now I have this 4Runner that's kind of not fitting in with the way that like my family's doing their desert trips. So I'm like, all right, I guess it's time to get a side-by-side then. And so I sell the 4Runner, which is a mistake. I should have kept that thing. Even my wife says that. So I sold the 4Runner, and I started like looking for a side-by-side, mainly, yeah. So I can, you know,
Hang out with the rest of the squad.
yeah, get into that rhythm, I guess.
Yeah.
And then while I get a side-by-side, it's just like a little Rhino. It had like long travel and stuff like that, and it was a good time. It was fun, but we lived in Lancaster, and I could throw the kids in it and then go out from my driveway
Yeah.
and go have fun. And then we started looking at a house up in Tehachapi, and it was all private land all around. So that was going to be taken away from me. So I was like, all right, well, I don't want the side-by-side anymore. You know, I started shopping for like a Sidekick or something that was road legal. And I was thinking about it. I started shopping for those the Terex
Uh-huh.
4-seaters. I wanted it because it was like short, and we had a bumper pull trailer that it's a toy hauler, but it opens like on the side, and it's only like a 48-inch door. So you get quads in there, but
Yeah.
you can't put anything big in it.
Sure.
So, and my wife loves the trailer, and so I'm like, all right, well, if I put something on the back of the truck, a Terex would fit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at Terexes, and it's called like the R1000 or something. Yamaha. They didn't get very big. They're big back east, but it's like a shorter 4-door. And I'm like, what do these things weigh? And I look it up, and it's like just over 2,000 pounds. And I'm like, 2,000 pounds? It's like, what's a Samurai weigh? So I look it up and 2,050 pounds. And I was like, dude, all right, like no helmets, road legal, and like I'm looking like, all right, how do you fit these things on the back of a truck and stuff? So I start shopping for a Samurai, and they're pretty pricey at that time. They're not terrible, but I went to Arizona to get this one, and it's already on like beadlocks, 33-inch swampers, and then has 16 gears in the case or so.
Okay.
And it's got like a makeshift cage and stuff like that. But I'm like, that's a good start. Like I can jump on that thing and just start having fun as it is. So I go out there, and I think the only reason people didn't buy it because he had put the gas tank in the back and took the seat out. And so everyone was like, oh, the gas tank's in the back. Like, I don't want to mess with it. I didn't care. I brought it home, and like the mounts were still there, and I just like put it right back and put a seat that I had in the backyard and like ready to go.
Sweet.
So I scored on that.
The second Samurai that you just turnkey.
I know, right? So I got the Samurai, and that was like the whole plan of it. And a lot of my old rigs, especially my 4Runner, it was like heavy. It was full bodied, and when I would go on the Rubicon, I took everything. Like we would bring a inflatable pool, and then we'd pump water out of the springs. Mm-hmm. And then once it was full, I had a giant heat exchanger that was like, it was a cooler. It was a hydraulic cooler that was like 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
And then we just put that thing on the fire and recirculate it and make like a hot tub. Yeah. So I was just bringing tons of stupid stuff that I didn't need.
Yeah.
And it would like hurt me on the trail, like being so heavy and big butt on that thing. So so after like having that thing, I was like, dude, I want something light. I missed my little tracker that I had. Yeah. That thing was fun. The Samurai, like, I want to keep it light. So that was the whole goal. Because I wanted to put it on the back of the truck, keep it light. I wanted it to be real, small and nimble.
So we're talking back of the truck, like you've got one of those.
I was gonna flatbed it.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, I was gonna flatbed it, and then I would need it to be like 9 feet to get it to fit on there. So it was gonna be like a stake bed. It was the plan.
Yeah. And what's the truck?
It's a 2000 OBS. It's like the last year of the OBS, and it's a crew cab 3500.
Okay.
And then that thing's solid axle too. I wish I could take credit for that, but the guy before me did it. I would like to redo it though, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I love that truck. It's still a gasser. I mean, diesels are awesome for towing and stuff, but this thing always starts.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it just goes. So that was the plan, or like why I got the Samurai. It was like, I need something small. It's essentially a side-by-side that is street legal that I can rock crawl. Mm-hmm. And then, so I get the thing and I start tweaking. First thing I do is first time that I'm actually good responsible is like cage. I'm like, because I was gonna put my girls in it. I was like, all right, like before anything else, let's put a good cage in it. And so I had gotten a low range kit, and then I just like added a bunch of stuff that I wanted, or like places I thought like, oh, gusset here would be nice. This would be nice, and it went in pretty well. 1 or 2 tubes didn't fit quite right, but it was fine. And I was rushing. I remember my wife was like gone for the night, and I was like trying to hammer this thing out in the night. So like she would come back, and I wouldn't have to explain like, like what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm putting it in the cage. Like, where did you get this thing? I don't
know. I found it.
Just showed up on the door, man.
Somebody gave it to me.
But so then that's when like I guess we were already dealing with COVID at that time. Do you remember we had the Hurricane Hillary?
Yeah.
We had Hurricane Hillary come up, and it hit our area pretty good. So like everywhere in our area, some of the roads were like closed down for like months, and all of those washes that were like always like overgrown and stuff like that, they were like washed out. So like,
sweet,
dude, every Saturday morning I was like up like before the sun came up because my girls are still sleeping, and I'd jump in the Samurai and I'd go explore. And at that time, I had already like painted the cage white. I was gonna do the paint or the color scheme that I have on it now.
Yeah.
So like I already painted the cage white, and like my plans are, I'm doing like a mint green or some some type of Tiffany blue or something, and that's what I want to do.
But like then totally 80s thing.
Yeah.
Like that was.
I wanted it loud.
Yeah.
So I start wheeling like all these like places and stuff, and like sometimes people are like kind of give me the eye and stuff like that, and I was like, man, like maybe camouflage would be cool. So then that's why I like leaned toward the camouflage, which was like cool for a while. It was cool. I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Sure.
And then that thing burnt up after a couple years. And then during that time,
you painted it or
it's a wrap.
Okay.
And like I don't know what I'm doing.
Sure.
It was a lot of luck. I learned a lot on the camouflage wrap, like on like the difference of heating it up to stretch it and heating it up to shrink it, and like which better wear and stuff like that. I'm still not good at it.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot on that one, and it stuck actually really well because I did not pay. It wasn't like the 3M stuff. It was like
Temu.
It was like eBay stuff.
Oh,
I got like the whole roll for like under $200.
Okay.
And then
how does it hold up like to scratches
it would
like
scratch up.
pinstriping?
It would scratch. Pinstriping, it held up pretty good. But if I hit a rock, it ripped it back and stuff like that. And it's not, especially with the camouflage, it wasn't a big deal because I just like cut that section out and put a patch, and it's camouflage.
Yeah.
You like can't notice.
Sure.
So during that time, doing trips. Me and my dad did like a Death Valley trip. We drove the rigs all the way out to Nevada on the highway, and then we 4-wheeled through Death Valley. You've done that one, probably Warm Springs, Mangle Pass, down to, what was that? Something Gorge. Or,
so you're coming back in.
We're heading from Nevada, heading west to Panamint Valley.
So you end up going...
Gullar Wash.
Yeah, okay, exactly, yeah.
Gullar Wash, and...
then you end up in Ballarat.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, but like when we had gotten to the Manson place, my dad noticed that he had broken a U-joint on his front passenger, on his TJ. So, and we were with like some other guys, and so we pulled the axle, and we went down Gullar and camped at in Coyote Canyon, I think. And then we were talking about it. They were gonna go up Fish, I think it's Fish Canyon, and like finish the run that the people who originally went through.
Like we're talking Pioneers?
Yeah, the Pioneers. Like that was the whole trip. Was like we're doing the same route as they did, as close as we could.
So this is like the covered wagon route you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. And me and my dad
Dude, how gnarly would that have been? I mean, who knows what it looked like then? But you're like horse and buggy. Dude. You're just blowing up wheels.
Right?
You had to have been.
Yeah, you're lucky if you have parts to put it back together. Yeah. And dude, that'd be so stressful to me. Like, and you got your family there. You don't know where the next water is. Like, and there's a book called Death Valley in 1849, and me and my dad like read it before we went, so we could point out the sites. Like, oh, that's where this is. Like, dude, this is around where this happened, and it was so cool. I'm like a nerd for like the history stuff, and I loved it. It was 100%. So cool.
Like. In the pre-runner game, it's like, go fast jumps. I'm like, no, I want to go see cool stuff. So it's like Mojave Road. It's like you do research on it, and then you're like, oh, dude, this is where this happened. Right? This is where this happened. It's just makes it that much better.
Absolutely.
It's like a destination situation.
I know, I am jealous of the pre-runner guys. They see a lot more than we do.
Yeah, they go fast, see more. I was going to say, so Michael Allen that I just did the podcast with, the first trip that he took me on for his work trip, we went to the Manson cabin, and it was like a couple weeks before it burned down. So we got to see it.
Lucky dude! I'm so jealous.
It was crazy. So it had like the fridge in there, it had like the sink, like basin in there, and apparently when they caught him, it was like I think if I remember correctly, they like took a tractor, and they drove it back to the ranch, and the cops followed somebody followed the tracks back and found it, and they found him underneath the sink. Yeah, in the bathroom or something. And so we got to check out the bathroom. See that? And it's just like the history of that. And how then cool we went back on another trip in like 2013 or maybe 2012, I can't remember, the pre-runners, and it was just gone. And I mean, it's still there, but not like I saw it. And it was like all like kept up. How cool is that? And when we walked in, it had this like photo of him like before he got caught, or maybe it was his like mugshot. Oh, okay. And then it had a photo of him in jail. It was like it was obviously creepy. Yeah. Being there, actually. But yeah, anyway, super cool. What year was that? The trip that we went was 2009, and so I'll have to look it up and see when it actually burned down. But I was gonna ask you, what year did you get the mouse? That was in 2009. It was I think that trip was in May. that I did with him, and I bought the mouse in Hesperia. I think it was in like the 1st of November. So yeah, and so I've had that thing for almost.
Dude, gonna be 20 years or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, but it's just I don't know, the exploring and seeing all the cool stuff. Like even the rock crawling. It's like you have this truck and you can go where normal vehicles can't go and go see cool stuff. Dude, that's just badass.
I don't know. And I mean, my wife doesn't love it, but I feel like I really want to do the Rubicon, and I was like, that would be like a happy medium. She likes the beauty of the forest and stuff like that. I was like, just do this one for me, please. Yeah. And she was a champ about it. Maybe it was just because it was Father's Day.
And did you guys go in Loon or the Tahoe side?
So yeah, this most recent trip, I usually love starting at Loon and go all the way through. And I usually tell people that are doing it for the first time, like, you got to go all the way through. You got to do it. And it is a pain if you're trailing your junk, because like, where do you put the trailer? Where do you put the trailer?
Sure.
So I usually leave my junk in South Lake and then go down the 50, and then we'll usually camp at Loon because it was a long day of driving.
Sure.
And then hit the trails, and then you pop out South Lake and you shoot home. But with, like I said, the high desert crawler buddies that I have, like they're built for rocks, and they're like, we can't do that highway in ours and stuff. Like, can we go in Loon and come back out Loon? And that's maybe like the second time that I've done that. So that was the plan. We parked at Loon on a Thursday night, and then shot up the trail that evening, like as a storm was rolling in. We got through Gatekeeper, and then I like checked the weather, and it's like, the radar shows like red thunderstorms because we already heard it, and it was like coming. Sure. So we're like not out of the trees yet to the Granite Bowl, and so we're like, let's chill here for a second, like put some covers on. We made some dinner and stuff, and like luckily it like blew to the east of us a little more and stuff. And then so they're like, we're gonna go, we camping here, what do you want to do? So we were like, all right, let's just get across the bowl. There's some spots right before the bridge that you can usually pick off and get a spot to camp. So we go across there. We have my Samurai with that little trailer that I built.
Yeah. So let's just hold up there. So I've done Rubicon with the first gen 4Runner with my family, 2 kids.
Nice. Geared and everything? Like, what are you running for gears? Sorry,
so I've got 5 29s in it, and then it's got the dual cases with the 4.7 in the rear.
Oh, dude, yeah, you got gears all day.
But so I'm talking like gear for the family.
Yeah.
That thing's freaking packed, and cargo room in my 4Runner. It's not much, and then I got a roof bag on like Amazon.
Yeah,
and loaded all the light stuff up there. I had like a table that I put, and then loaded it all up with like sleeping bags and pillows and all that. So I'm thinking about you and your Samurai, and you're like, all right, how old are your kids now?
I have an oldest one that's 20.
Okay.
And then the other is 7 and 10.
Okay, so similar ages, and I'm assuming similar size, but still, a Samurai is tiny.
Yeah.
And you have all this crap to bring, and so you're like, what are we gonna do? Yeah.
So that's when I started thinking about building a little trailer.
Yeah.
And hindsight's 2020. I built it off of like I had picked one up off Facebook Marketplace for like $150, but it's like pretty much like what you would get from Harbor Freight.
Okay.
Real thin metal and stuff like that, but it was a trailer. I'm like, cool. So then it's already got sides on it, which was cool because usually they're just like flat. So it's got like the thin metal sides and a tailgate. So I was like, all right, what am I gonna do with this thing? I know I need to carry at least an ice chest and gear. And then I had you've seen like the tent cots, right?
Yeah, I've had a couple of those.
And like I like the single tent cots, and I was like,
it'd be kind of coffin.
Yeah. Right? So I was like, it'd be kind of cool to get one of the double tent cots and put it on top of the Sammy. I was like, it's light. I was like, just if I chop the legs off that thing, it probably fit pretty well, and it's super light.
And so you have like the older style that like folds out, not like because I have one that's
like an accordion.
It's like a cot.
Okay.
It's like you can use it as like a 2-person cot, and then it has basically a tent that goes on it.
I've seen those, and they're super tall.
Yeah.
They're way better to sit up in.
So you've got like the OG
fold out one.
Got it. So it's like a ghetto rooftop tent.
Yeah, which I had gotten with plans to put on top of the Samurai. So I was like, I can throw the girls up there. And then I'm like looking at the trailer, and I was like, it'd actually be kind of cool to throw on the trailer. So I chopped the legs off of it, make new legs that go down to like some angle iron that like go around the edge of the trailer. Yeah. And then and it like worked really well. And then I have all the space underneath to throw like ice chests. I bring like a bucket, a toilet with like a little tent stuff, like all our gear and stuff like there.
Yeah.
So I like use that like a little bit, like just on like some test trips around us. And then we planned the trip to go from my place out to Last Chance Canyon, run Last Chance Canyon, and then we were supposed to go up through Jawbone, up through the Paiutes to Isabella, and then go up. There's another trail called Sherman Pass.
I've heard of that.
And it's steep. I didn't know it at the time. It was my first time. So like as we're going through Last Chance, I'm getting like a little like, oh, let me try this.
Did you do the V-notch?
Yes.
With the trailer?
I was like super excited. I was like, I want to see this thing do the V-notch.
Yeah.
And so I keep pushing it like a little more and more, and like it just keeps. The trailer keeps just going anywhere I went. So after that trip,
is it like no problem? I mean, with the gearing.
With the gearing, it's good. At the time, I still had a ball hitch on it, and I was like pushing my luck. Oh, dude, I was pushing my luck with the thing, but it kept going. And I think I was like, what was giving me a lot of grace is that metal's so thin.
Yeah,
it was probably just flexing the tongue. So I get through Last Chance, did the V-notch, which I was like super stoked for. And then going out, there's like the long road, and I'm like, all right, dude, like let's hit it. So I'm going pretty good, and all of a sudden I hear and just like
dropped in.
rearview mirrors just dust,
oh, no.
crap. So I stop, I get on the radio, I'm like, hey, we got problems up here, and I get out, and the tongue broke right at like Chad. I deserved it.
Yeah.
So,
but at least it wasn't on the trail.
Yes, yeah. So we're off the trail and stuff, so it hung us up a bit. Luckily, like, I knew a place in Tehachapi. We, like, ratchet strapped it and put, like, what we could to get it together to get down the highway. Then we went to Tehachapi and, like, put some, like, real metal on it and welded it and, like, all right, we're good for the rest of the trip. But then we missed our little leg to go through the forest. So then we go around and went to Isabella. Which is still cool.
Did you put, I'm assuming, like tires 31s or something on it?
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, to get into the trailer a little bit on that thing, I had done what I said about the rack and stuff. And then the axle, I had like I had rebuilt my Samurai axles because they were bent. So I got a whole new set of axles and like redid them all. And at that time, I put lower gearing in them, and then I gusseted. Put like the gussets that you can buy on it, and I made like a rear gusset for the rear axle, and then I'd put the knuckleball gussets on it and stuff like. So I had whole new axles there, and in the backyard I still had a couple front axles. Mm-hmm. So I got some 2.5-inch tube and chopped it to the length I wanted, and I just welded the spindle from the Samurai to the ends of it, and then put on the wheel bearings and everything from there.
Is it the same width as the Samurai?
I made sure I made it the same width as the Samurai. I wanted it to track the same.
So, in a previous life, when I had a Rover, my first Rover I had blew 3 transmissions. I doubled down. I got a different Rover, and I still had the first Rover, and so we cut the roof off and cut it in half and made it into a trailer.
Okay.
So it's like half,
I think I might have seen pictures of that.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, well, I'll post one up.
Okay.
So, yeah, it had. What I was gonna say is, does the Samurai have a third member?
No,
Okay.
That's dude.
But, well, so if you had the, does it run a third member in those, or is Toyota axles?
Yes. So they're just like Toyota axles, just baby.
So I was gonna say, on my Rover, I kept the diff in it and I kept the axles in it, so then you had spare axles.
Absolutely, dude.
And then you could run the same size tire.
That's and dude, that's such a good idea. Yeah. In hindsight. I was like telling my buddies, or I was just talking about the trailer and building and stuff, and I was like, if I was really thinking, I would have like put the knuckleballs on it, and then put like the center of a spool in there so it was geared, and then slid some axles in there, and then I could use the hub locks as a knee brake, and it's like extra axle shafts are right there, and you have extra hub. You have everything.
100%.
So on the next one I build, I'm gonna like utilize that and like have that going and stuff. Cause it's a pain. Like if I park it somewhere, I like have little chocks and stuff. But like the girls like moving the tent, it like wiggles pretty good. So it may not fix it, but it'll make it better.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But
I had on mine. So we took out the gas tank, which is mounted underneath like the cargo area, and so we cut a hole out, and then built a little basket, so it was like you could lift it up and then put stuff under there. But I had a bunch of blocks of wood that I would put, because it had the foot for the the trailer jack.
Yeah.
But then it would tip.
Okay.
Because the Rover had like a truck tailgate on it, so if you like sat on it, it would have
yeah.
So I had like a bunch of wood that I would stack, and it would sit underneath that little basket, so it couldn't.
It worked.
It worked. But
like
so no, I take it no e-brake on the Samurai.
E-brake, yes, I got e-brake.
You got e-brake.
It has the rear disc brake kit, which is always a pain doing rear disc. Unless you get a kit that has the e-brake in it. And I didn't want to deal with all the either you've seen where they put like a brake at the output of the transfer case.
Yeah, that's what I have on mine.
Oh, it's like, which is a bitchin' setup.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay for that. So I just I put a line lock in mine. So on my dash, I just push my brake and then lock it. And
does that work?
It's been working really well actually. It surprised me. And I only did it just because on some of the runs I would go on. It's like must have e-brake. Yeah. And like I said, I always aspire to build my junk to be like, oh, like someday I can go on the Unreal Adventure.
Yeah.
And so it's always like a target of mine, and so I'm like trying to check those boxes.
For sure.
But
so you do the Rubicon, and so you guys get to you made it past Whalebones, and then just before the bridge found a camp.
Yes. Yeah, so I rebuilt the trailer, I redid the tongue, I made like a swivel thing on it, and it seems to be holding up okay. And then we go to the Rubicon, we get past Whalebones, we camp for the night. We had a Cherokee with us, which is like pretty well built. It was on like probably like Scout 44s or something. It wasn't like a Jeep 44 per se. It didn't have like the linkage on it and stuff. But he's got like some hub problems, so it's like kind of engaging the 4-wheel drive, and then I think his power steering pump is like messing up on him, and he had like a double tent cot fall out of the back, and like we couldn't find it. And so he had like I think he had his boy with like 2 boys and like a friend with them, and like the friend was like not feeling the rock crawling aspect, and he was just like, dude, I'm going back. So in the morning, 2 of our buddies took him back to the trailer, loaded him up, and then he headed back home, which is a bummer. Like, that's such a long drive, but like I understand.
Yeah.
Dude. And they kind of told him like, you might want to, like, we're just gonna get deeper in this thing.
Yeah.
So then we're down to what is that? Probably 5 rigs. Then it's me and the Samurai, my dad and his TJ, which is built well, our buddy Jimmy and his bitchin' Jeepster thing on 42 Treps. I think it's a monster. And then his brother Joe in a tube chassis Toyota, like a 3rd gen pickup. And then buddy Pat in a ZJ that's all tubed out on 40s and 1-tons and stuff. And then our buddy Johnny in his 3rd gen 4Runner. That thing's sick too. Leaf sprung, but it freaking does it. And so we hit the trail. We go to Soup Bowl, and I park because I got the trailer. I'm tempted, but like I'm trying to be responsible, like because I got my girls and stuff. Yeah. And so I park. I like put up the shade, and I'm like, all right, boys, you gonna hit it and stuff. So they start, having their fun and stuff. Joe messes around. Joe messes around on Soup Bowl a bit. And then he backs up, and then he tries like that line to the right. That's like a straight up climb.
Like the soup kitchen or whatever.
Yeah, I think that is it. And then he just like flops over, going up to it, which is, uncommon for Joe. He's always like putting it on its side just because he doesn't care. And then so his brother Pat pulls up in the ZJ and like starts winching him over, and he's pushing hard on the brake, and then he just loses his brakes. And then so like he gets him over and is like, I don't have any brakes. And then we look, and the ears on the master cylinder, like the cast, broke off. And then the master cylinder is just sitting there, and it's just like leaking. So those guys, they're so prepared. They know what's up. They get a welder. We start figuring out what we need and trying to find like a little piece for the extension on the adapter. And they get it together. As we're pulling up, props to the dude in the Jeep. Like, we're stacking sunglasses. And he's like, as they're about to start burning, this dude pulls up. He's like, "You want a shield?" Yeah. And they're like, "Do you have one?" And he just like reaches back. He's like, "Here." And dude, and then he's like, "And I got like a Premier if you want to," because they had like a battery one. Dude hooked it up. Thank you, dude. Whoever you are, like, dude, such a cool guy.
It's the off-road community,
dude.
That's just how it goes.
And you know what he does for? I don't know if it's like the only job he does. I think he's a welder by trade. Talked to him for like a short minute. But he was out there in a like bitchin' YJ that's like supercharged or turbocharged, I think. And he's got someone following him in like a buggy that's like Toyota base, and it's like tiny 2-seater, and he's like, yeah, that's my buggy. People pay me to do the Rubicon, and like they're not just doing the Rubicon. He's like, all right, come this way, and there's like hitting soup bowl, and he's like, all right, now drive down it, and so like, and it's like this guy like looking at him in the face like doesn't look like the guy's a wheeler at all. It's him and his son, and they're just out for like a good time. Like, what's this rock crawling thing, Yeah. And so props to him. He's like, then he goes down. He's like, all right, now go up soup kitchen. And it's like, dude, like, so cool.
Yeah.
So we get through soup bowl. They hit it. We all get up. All right, pack up the trailer. We're on our way. Next one up would be Little Sluice. And dude, I was so tempted because I've done Little Sluice in the Sammy before, and it did it pretty well. But I didn't have a trailer last time, and it was just me and my oldest daughter.
This thing's 33s.
Yes, at this time and last time it was 33s. Yeah, 33s.
And so how is that like with the trailer? I imagine some of the stuff's got to get a little interesting because like if you got to back up.
Dude, funny. Yeah, that's the only thing I got to do. Funny enough, it like just goes as long as I pick a good line that I like don't have to back up. I mean, there's some like I can back up like some.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm not like trying to back out the whole obstacle, like it does it. There are times where like it'll get hung up on like a rock and I gotta like give it some goose and like get it to go. But like for the most part, it went. Later on, I ended up breaking a leaf spring hanger on the trailer, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So Little Sluice, I'm super tempted to do it, but like, luckily my wife, I told her I was like, I really want to do it. Like,
and she digging it at this point, or kind of like?
Dude, she's having a good time.
And let me ask you, so this is like day 2.
This is day 2.
So you guys are kind of fresh. You're like in the morning.
Yeah, we're not miserable yet.
You're smarter man than I, dude. That last one we did last year, we had 10 trucks, and I think we were at like 6 hours to get to Soup Bowl. Because we had a couple breakages. And then, everybody stops and you get out for 10 minutes.
Which is cool, you're enjoying it.
But with the family, it's when you're with the family, it's a completely different vibe.
Yeah, it made me feel lame. Made me feel lame with like my buddies, but they totally understood.
Yeah.
And like, I think it was the right choice.
Sure.
But like, I already am like, man, I want to load this thing back up and go, because I would love to get this thing through Little Sluice with the trailer.
Yeah.
Because that'd be awesome. I'd be like, dude.
Totally.
But I didn't do it. I chickened out.
I haven't been able to do it either because the first year we got to Little Sluice and there was an old Bronco that was trying to get through it, and he was basically like broke something in the front axle, and he was like couldn't get up, and there's gear oil and they were working on cleaning all that up. Yeah. And so we just took the boat ramp out towards Spider.
Which is still a hard climb.
Yeah, I mean it was still a little spicy, but then this next year I was like, oh dude, I'm gonna hit it. But I got the whole family. We're at hour 6, and we start to go in, and same thing. I think Mikey in the Explorer 40s just boom, right in a hole, and he had to get winched out, and my wife, all the wives were over it at that point. And so, same thing.
And you guys are aiming for buck that night?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so and then Hayden in the little Tacoma, the silver Tacoma, he got stuck at Soup Bowl, He tried it twice. Yeah. He's like, I'm just gonna put tires on it. His dad's like, put tires on what?
I just watched that podcast not long ago. That's funny.
And so we take the boat ramp out, and then we're up at the top waiting for him.
Did he bust his CV on that?
Yes. Okay. So he's like just at the start of Little Sluice, and then we made the decision to split. So all the families headed to Buck, and then they fixed the axle, and they were back in action in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, Hayden knows what he's doing. Like, when we wheeled at Matino,
but it's like you just get to a point where you're like, all right, we got to get to camp, like. So if you're going with a family,
family first, bro.
Make it go until have a cutoff time where you're like, hey, if we make it to here, we're gonna set up camp. We're not gonna proceed because you will end up with a pissed off wife and just ask me how I know.
Yes.
But
but once you got to the water, I'm sure.
Like, 100%. But so you guys, so Little Sluice, did you just take the bypass?
I took like the long way.
Okay.
around.
I haven't even gone over there. Is it just mellow?
Yeah, there's like a couple spots, but it's all pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. And that shoots you out like right at the top of Little Sluice.
Mm-hmm.
So they go, we get there before them, and then we wait for a little bit, and then we meet up, and we're on our way again. We're going down the slabs. That's when I take a bad line, trying to like drop down, and then I roll the trailer. The Samurai does fine, and then the trailer tries to do the same thing. Driver tire of the trailer falls in a hole, and it just like flops, boom.
Oh man.
And like, you know, luckily nothing fell out. I mean, I don't think that was because I packed it so well. It's just because I had so much crap in it.
Yeah.
There was no place for it
just
to go.
Tetrised in there.
So then we winch it back up because we couldn't lift it, and then I pull forward, and then we're just like, it messed up the fenders and stuff, but like whatever.
Yeah.
And then we're on our way. We're good. I think we had to winch my pop on one time that he like slid funny.
That's steep going down.
Dude, that's in my 4Runner. That sketched me out so much. Like I said, I was taller than I wanted to be in the 4Runner, and like all of that, it was like really slinky and like I didn't like it.
That one part where you go and it gets basically you go to the rock and then you have to turn left and it's like you kind of do a 3-point turn. Is that where you rolled it?
No, it was just a little bit before that.
Okay.
It's like I think I should have gone left, but I had gone right, and there's like a tree right here, and it's like a little like V-notch dip, little up, and I was going down it, and then there was a reason I couldn't just square up to it, so I hugged the right, and it was just poor. And I'm learning. I'm also learning with the trailer.
Oh yeah,
like, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
I mean, I imagine that's got to be totally different than just.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, won't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But so you cruise in and there was nothing other than the fenders. It was fine.
Yeah.
All the way to.
It was totally fine. And like I said, I built that like fully articulating junk, which I used a trailer hub. And like it actually works pretty well.
They have on that rover trailer I had a pintle hitch, which is like the.
How does that work? I mean, I know how it works, but like it performed well.
It was obnoxiously loud, and then like on the road, like you're going down a hill, the trailer would basically kind of like catch up to the car, and it would kind of like
dance
go back and forth. So the trailer kind of. And you know, the small trailer, it's already kind of dancing.
I know.
So I did research and I was getting, I don't know if they still make them, but it was like a lock and roll. And it was like a beefy hitch, but.
They do make them.
Okay.
But I'm cheap.
Yeah, no. They're expensive. It was like $300-$400.
Yeah, I've seen them for like $200 or $100 on Marketplace, but I just have not been able to get one.
But so you built something there.
I built this thing and it actually like held up. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So that's why like it fully rolled. Like that thing could have kept like tumbling.
Luckily it didn't take the Samurai with it.
I know, right?
Probably weighs like,
Probably weighs close to the Samurai with all the junk I had in it.
Yeah.
And that thing's on. We said I was on 33s with the Samurai. That thing's on like 30s, I think.
Oh man.
Which I built to be able to put 35s on, but it just keeps working. And I'm like, I don't want to put more weight on this thing when I'm going down the highway.
And do you have a spare in the Samurai?
No, isn't that funny? I got some glue tread.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, I got the glue tread, and like people always ask like, where's your spare? And I'm like, I got 2 of them on the trailer. And like that's like my thoughts. I'm like, if I could just a flat trailer stand, I'm taking the tire, getting out, I'll come back for the trailer.
Yeah.
So like that was my plan in that aspect at least. And then so we get down all the slabs, we get into Buck. I did have a little bit of trouble, you know, when like you go over the dam, and then you got like all the water right there, and then you have like that little waterfall climb. That one gave me a little bit of trouble.
Sure.
That was like the first time that I needed to do something. Up until then, like I was surprised. I was afraid for Whale Rock, like at the outside.
Steep, dude.
That was like, and I like made a point. I was like, Dad, you got to go in front of me because I don't know this thing's gonna go up that. It's already sketchy without a trailer.
Did you just go straight up, or did you go to the right?
I squared it up.
I feel like with a Samurai, you could have just.
I know, like, probably, but out of habit, having the 4Runner, it always just put my freaking B pillar into it, like, so. And then I knew this line. You know,
dude, the first time. I mean, I'm fairly green to 4-wheeling. I mean, now I've had a couple years under my belt, and obviously doing some of the hammer stuff. It kind of a baptism.
Which you're killing, dude.
Yeah, thanks, dude. But so, like, I remember the first time we did that, like, 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like, we got to Whalebones, and I'm like, That's pretty steep. Like we're going up that, and then it just goes.
Was there a reason why you didn't go right? Same thing, like it's
gonna. Oh, it's just body damage. You know, I'm like, I'm not that I'm afraid of body damage. I'm trying to keep it nice, like nice-ish, even though it's starting to look like a golf ball.
Dude, those first gen Forerunners, they're getting so hard to find with the body.
Right.
Like.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. Like that dude that we did Matina wash. Like I respect him so much for keeping it clean.
Yeah, keep it clean.
Everybody chops them up.
Yeah.
And we're gonna run out.
I know. I mean, the whole game plan I have is just like beat it until it's like hammered, and then just swap it like an RC body.
That's good, dude. That's good.
But so you guys make it down to Buck camp.
Get there. Get packed. Yep, camp. Families like loving the water. They're happy, and then we camp out that night. And then the next morning, my buddies, they've never done the trail. So I'm like, we got to at least go to the springs, and they want to go to the springs. I asked my wife, and she's like, can we just chill here today? And so I'm like, yeah, you guys, and my dad didn't want to go either. He's like, I'm going to stay at Buck. So I leave the Samurai in the trailer there and jump in with my buddy. Because the girls, like I have like I don't know if I said, the Samurai's got the double tent cot on the trailer, and I put a double tent cot on top of the Samurai.
So you've got a penthouse and the mobile man.
Yeah, so me and my wife sleep in the one on the Samurai, and then the two girls slept in the one on the trailer. And then it's like a lot to pack up.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually the last one.
Yeah.
So leaving it there for the day, I'm totally fine with.
Sure.
So they chill for the day. Me and the buddies head out to the springs. No problems getting there. Low traffic. We came up on one dude that was like dead in the water. I think he had already been there for like 3 days or something like that. But he's like, I got friends coming. Yeah. And it's funny because we're like, he says like, yeah, I got some friends in a Teal 4Runner. Like, oh, there's some guys in a Teal 4Runner trying to weld a hub at Buck. Like, is that them? I was like, that's probably them. I was like, they're getting it fixed. Yeah, like, they are coming. Like, but so we pull him off the trail and then put him where he wants. We go to the springs, we hang out. They're loving it. I mean, I love the springs. It's probably my favorite part of the group for sure. 100%. I mean, Buck's really nice, but I told my wife next year we're going in the Tahoe side. Enjoy the springs. I'll go 4-wheel what I want, but this is it right here.
Yeah.
We hang out there. We shoot down to Dirty Dozen. Have you been down to that?
Yeah, we camped there.
Super cool little beach right there, dude. Yeah. And then like being from Southern California, any water crossing, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's pretty deep.
It is.
You go over the wrong spot. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta know. Like I told them, I was like, if you want to go deep, go left. If not, stay to the right. Yeah. And they pushed it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Love wheeling through water because I'm from Southern California.
Sure, yeah, no doubt.
So we hang out there for a while, do some swimming, and then we shoot back up the Buck. We did have a little bit of trouble on some overheating issues. They weren't too bad, but I think one of the radiator caps got left off on I think the ZJ, and then so he lost a lot, and so it kind of was we gotta let it cool down, and then trying to bleed it. He's got his radiator in the back window because he's full tube in the front and stuff. So the back driver window, it's sitting sideways. So it's kind of I think he's still figuring it out and what works and stuff. Sure. Get back to Buck. So what is that? That's Saturday night. And then we kind of talk about it, and we know it's a land rush Sunday morning to get out of there. So we all agree let's pack up and get up as far at least past the slabs. Mm-hmm. So we load up right into the middle of the slabs. We come across a Samurai. We push them back over. Those guys were cool. We didn't talk to them at all, really. We just helped them push the Samurai back over. I roll the trailer again at the bottom of the slabs. Second lesson. And then then we get up to Soup Bowl, and then just past Soup Bowl, the lights in our eyes real bad. So we find a camping spot there. Camp for the night, and then shot out in the morning, and then we're on the road.
Sweet.
No other problems from there that I can remember.
Yeah.
And just an awesome trip. Getting to the top of the Granite Bowl, and just having a beer and line up for a picture and stuff. Because I don't know about you, but with the family and stuff, I carry a little stress. Man, if something goes,
100%.
Got the girls here, I gotta figure out how to get this thing out and stuff. So getting up there, dude, it was epic.
Yeah, just a total accomplishment.
Yeah, and
especially after a little rolled trailer here.
Yeah, that's.
But Samurai was totally good to go.
Yeah. Oh, and then coming up the slabs, there was a spot. We were probably to almost to the top of the slabs, and it was like if you go right, it's like a hard section, and I was leading at the time, and I went right when I shouldn't have, because it's hard to remember like all the paths and stuff.
Of course.
So I get into it, and I'm like, I rate. I was like, my dad was right behind me. I was like, don't go right. I was like, this is rough, and it was rough, but like I'm not backing up, so I had to like beat it pretty hard, but it got through. But then probably 500 feet down the trail, I'm like, why is the trailer tracking weird and stuff? And so I got and checked it, and it had broken on the driver's side the front leaf spring hanger, and so the whole axle was like coming back. So that didn't take too long though. Luckily, the Goaty boys had their little power welder, and we just like put it back. Yeah, yeah, a couple pairs of sunglasses. Had a beer and burned that thing back in.
There you go.
And we were on our way.
Yeah.
But it was such a great trip, dude.
Yeah. Well, so the Unreal Adventure. So you've got so you submitted to do it.
Yes. So they do it every year. Yeah, I said that a little. I got you. Right. So like I said, since like I've been following it since like 2003. They've been doing it since '99. And like it was like a magazine thing the first year, and then they started doing like videos and stuff, and then every year, like I've always followed it. And
have you always tried to enter?
No, this is my first time.
Okay.
I never entered because I always felt like, like, dude, like those rigs are so nice, like my 400's not ready, and like, that's not ready. And like even with my Samurai, like my Samurai isn't where I wanted it to be. Like I have been holding off all of those parts, and I don't know if I mentioned it. Like once my daughter was like getting a little big for the back, I was like, I gotta sell this thing. So I stopped working on the Toyota axles. I stopped working on everything. I just left it as it was and like wheeled it for hammers and stuff. And I'm like, I'm selling this thing. Oh, and that's why I was like, well, I can't sell it with this wrap all jacked up. So I'm like, I'm gonna wrap it the way that I originally wanted it to. And like my buddies, a lot of them were like, really, you're gonna do that? Like no one's gonna want to buy it those colors. And I was like, I just want to do it for me once. Like, I want to do it for me. Maybe I'll tear it off when I sell it. I was like, but I want to see what's in my head. Yeah. So I like did it and stuff, and like I liked it, and like like people at like Hammers were like loving it and stuff. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, all right, yeah. And then so then the plan was to sell it, and I was like, after Hammers, I'm gonna sell it. And then my buddy had gotten a Samurai, and he wanted to go do Rubicon. So I said, all right, Father's Day, we'll do it. So I was holding off. After Rubicon, I'm selling it. Did the Rubicon, and I guess before the Rubicon, my brother's got a Samurai as well. He had that 4Runner, and then he sold it not long ago and got a Samurai, which is way cooler than mine, in my opinion. It's not as loud, like with paint job, it's just black, but it's like, it's got a like a 2000 Chevy Tracker 2.0 in it, and it sounds awesome. Yeah. It's 4-linked in the front with coils, and then I think YJ's in the rear, and like cage, and like it's Toyota axles. Like the thing's nice, and I kept telling him like, dude, put your application in for Unreal Adventure. Like this thing's ready. Like do it. But he's like, no, I don't want to. And he was like nervous about it. I think the clincher for him is that he's running the Samurai on the rear transfer case has an offset output, and he's running a stock Toyota axle in the rear, so it's like cattywampus. And he's like been fighting trying to get his driveline vibration to go away on the highway. Sure. So like he's like, no, I got that bad. I can't do it. I can't drive that many miles with this thing right now and stuff like that. So I kept bugging. I was like, dude, just do it. Like if you get it, we'll put out for one of the Trail Gear offset axles. Like do it. And he just wouldn't do it. So then finally I'm like, all right, well, like I'll throw my name in the hat just for the fun of it and stuff. And dude, so like I go to Rubicon, I do all that stuff, and then a couple weeks or like 2 weeks later, it's funny, I posted the Samurai for sale a little bit after Rubicon. I posted it, and then there was something I didn't like. And so I was like, I gotta fix that. And so I took it down. Oh, so you're the guy that's like, all right, this thing has to be dialed before I I'm one of those dudes that's like, and my wife hates that because I will be like, she's like, I thought you're selling this thing. I was like, yeah, but I can't sell it like this. Yeah. It's gotta be right. Oh, boy. So like, so I'm like, I want to do this stuff first. That's not ready, and like nobody even hit me up. It was probably up for like 20 minutes, if that. No one hit me up anyways. Yeah. And I had put it for sale in November. Is this available? I'm gonna do an Elliott Smith account, and dude, I'm gonna just. So yeah, anyways, I get back from Rubicon, I post it, and I take it down real quick, the stuff I want to fix on it before I actually sell it, and then I get a call from the dude that organizes the Unreal Adventure.
Yeah.
And I was like busy doing something, and I just saw the voicemail, and I'm like reading it, and I see the name Trent McGee. I'm like, what the heck? And like I go in the house, I'm like super excited, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, is this real? Like, dude, I was so excited. And then my wife's like, you can call him back. I was like, I can't right now. I can't right now. I'm too excited. I'm freaking out here, man. So like I calm down and like I call him back and he doesn't answer. So I leave him a message and I'm like waiting. And then someone's like, has he called you back yet and stuff? So it took him like a little bit to call me back. And he calls me back and it's like real. It's like really him, and it was like, hey, got some good news for you. Like, you made it to the Dirty Dozen. And I'm just like, dude, like, are you kidding me? Like, with the Samurai? Because like I said, like in my head, the Samurai is cool and it is solid, but it's not like these other trucks that are there. They're all like our LS, they're all coils, linked and stuff like that. The Samurai is like basic, which I guess that maybe helped me in some sense because it's right.
It's relative.
Right?
It's relatable, I mean.
So
to the average Joe. Yeah,
so I was, like I said, wasn't even planning on putting my name in the hat, but I just kind of did, and it's crazy that it got selected. I'm super stoked. And now I'm like, well, crap, I need to get moved. Like, I would probably be fine on the Sammy axles as long as I wheel it diligently, but I don't know. I'm nervous because they're Sammy axles.
Yeah, but so when do you find out what's happening?
They're starting. I saw that they announced one already. So there's 12 rigs for the Dirty Dozen. Mm-hmm. Those are the potential ones, and they'll select 5 of them. And then they'll invite one of the 5 that got invited last year. They'll invite one of them back. So 6 in all, subscribers they call them now. It used to be readers.
Got it.
So after they narrow it down to 12, they ultimately it's up to them. I think it used to be like you were voted in more so. As long as you met the criteria, they would allow it. But I think with the Unreal Adventure, they kind of they do more of the deciding, but they're open to being swayed. Yeah. Like with they're like, hey, say which one you like on the YouTube account and stuff like that. So they'll look at the comments, a lot of people like this one, or a lot of people like that one. So maybe this
podcast will.
Yeah, right, man.
I better hurry up and edit this thing.
Yeah, right. So they already announced one of them, and it was a old Willie's style one, like the wagon one. You ever seen Harry and the Hendersons? Yeah. It's like that style, and the thing's awesome. The guy did a frame off build.
We're talking a Grand Wagoneer with a wood panel.
Yes, kind of like that style. I apologize, I don't know the correct actual model, but you have the idea of it. It's skinny front and dude, the thing's sick. It's I think it's got an LS in it, coilovers, and good job too, and it's super clean. Yeah. And I see these builds, I'm just I don't belong here.
Yeah. Yeah, but obviously you do.
I guess so. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if I mean, even just being in the Dirty Dozen, dude, I'm well, crap. If I don't get selected this year, I'm gonna be ready next year. Yeah. To which would kind of be a bummer because I feel the newness or the funness of my paint job and stuff probably wear off. People are oh yeah, that old thing, Yeah. I'll have to come up with something else. It's gonna be Leopard or something.
Yeah, you're probably selling to get another rig. It sounds like you're just going through them.
It's funny, I can't now. Yeah. My wife and my girls are in love with the Samurai, and my girls were already kind of saying you don't get rid of it. And I'm we got the Bronco. The Bronco's gonna be way better. Bronco's gonna have this and that.
Another snack-sized truck. Those things are also tiny.
They're better.
Yeah, a little bit.
I can fit an adult in the back of that thing, and it'll have a V8, and it's gonna be better. Yeah. So many things that annoy me about the Samurai, which isn't a lot, but the main one is towing a trailer up a steep hill.
Yeah. For sure.
So,
so
we'll see how long it takes them to do the next announcements.
But it's over the next month or couple weeks. Or
I don't know. So last
year could be next.
Yeah, last year they announced it, all of them. They did the Dirty Dozen, and then I think they waited a week or so, and then I think it was more than a week. Actually, it was pretty close to the start date. Then they announced all of them at once in one video.
Got it.
But I'm thinking they only released one. So, and I think they may have mentioned something about that. So I think they're gonna like let him out slowly and stuff. So like I'm just sitting here, gonna sit there biting my nails, like waiting to see what's up.
Cookie Monster. I don't know if you've ever seen that where he's tapping his
like
finger.
yeah, I'm trying not to get cookies. Like don't think about cookies. I like the when it says, "Without cookies, I'm just a monster."
But so who are you gonna take with you?
My brother.
Okay.
My brother with the Samurai. He's my first choice. He's got like a really busy job, so it's gonna be like hard for him. But like he's just as into it as I am, so like he's gonna give it all he can, I'm sure.
And so week-long trip.
Week-long trip somewhere in the U.S.
So you don't even know where it is.
They did my theory is they did the last two kind of to the West Coast. They did that 2024 they did in Arizona and then like went in that direction. They went to like Grand Canyon and stuff, I think, and then up to where did they go? Okay. Oh, I think they finished in Colorado in that time.
Okay.
And then the 2025 last year they were up in like the West. They started like what was that? Coons Bay or something?
Coos Bay?
Yeah,
Oregon?
Coos Bay,
Yeah.
Oregon. And then they wheeled like Washington and like up in that area. So I'm like, crap, like if I were to get selected this year, I'm going to be probably going like back east somewhere.
Which would be rad.
Which is super cool, but I'm like, all right, well, I got to take a second out on the my mortgage or something. But,
yeah.
But it's going to be worth it. I'm so stoked to
I hope that works
make
out.
that happen.
So you said it's like start, run a trail, next day you're driving 100 miles, and are you hotel or you camping?
They might do 1, maybe 2 nights in the hotel.
Okay.
So yeah, the rhythm is usually like check-in day is like in the afternoon, and then wake up the first morning, and usually you're already in an area that's got like an off-road park or something. They'll go hit the trails for the day, camp out because they start in the hotel the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Camp out, and then you might camp out for like 3 nights, and then get a hotel.
And is this the deal like you have to have all your camping stuff? Or
You have to have everything. Once you get to the start location, you drop your rig off, and then everything you need for that entire week is on your rig.
Wow.
You do get lucky sometimes if you go to like an off-road park. They'll be like, this is where we're camping. Go ahead and drop all your gear. We got some hard trails to hit. And so you can wheel a little bit lighter in those cases. But then there's other times where like they'll throw a curveball at you, and it's supposed to be like a day that you're like, we're driving 400 miles a day, and then at 250 miles, they're like, pull off this road, and you're like, where are we going? You know, from the videos I've seen, it's like, where are we going? And they're like, we got a little surprise, and then you're hitting a trail, and it's like you have all your gear, so like if you're packing heavy, like it's gonna hurt you on the trail.
No, and I can totally appreciate that. I mean, I don't know if you've seen like our past like DMC trips with the pre-runners, but it's like we did. Like the biggest one we did was Barstow to the Grand Canyon, and we mapped it out on Google Earth, like all dirt, and we're like fully self-contained. Like everything, what we have is with us for like a 5-day trip, and we're bombing through the desert.
And it's just like an idea of where you're going, right?
Yeah.
How does that work out? Like Google Maps, you probably are before OnX and stuff. You're like looking at trails like this looks like it goes through.
Correct.
How often are you coming up with like crap? There's a fence here.
Yes.
I couldn't see this. Like, we got to find an alternate route.
Yes, that happened, and then it's like, oh, there's no fuel. Like,
So
And
that sounds like fun.
At the end of that, when we came back we were right by Hoover Dam. Everyone was on fumes. Like, I'm just like, this thing's gonna die. And we literally all pulled in, at the Hoover Dam exit. There's a gas station right there. It was like, oh, thank God. And I had 10 gallons extra fuel. And a water
And you
can.
had spent through them already?
Yeah, well, I had to give it to Mikey with his Bronco, I think, because he was out of gas. And I was like, oh, I got you. I got 5 gallons extra. And, the mouse is like, it's got like a thimble for a fuel tank. So the 22 RE doesn't drink much, but on a long-ass trip like that. But so that's super rad to be a part of something like that. And, obviously it's a test of the vehicle. It's a test of your patience and mentally it's difficult.
It wears you out.
Yeah.
A lot of the videos, like there's always like guys on the last trail just like because they're like obstacles. It's like you get in traffic jams sometimes, especially with like 20 rigs on it, and they're trying to do filming.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Well, yeah. So they're filming the whole thing too.
Yeah.
And then are you like talking? I don't know. Like.
It seems like they'll do like little interviews. Like what's camera guy probably come up to them. It seems like, and they'll be like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, well, just waiting in line. We're on this trail," and like kind of give them like a little spiel on it and stuff like that.
Sure. That's super cool, man. I have this idea of talk to my buddy Scott with the multicolored 4Runner. You met him.
Yeah, the coiled inner. That thing's cool.
Yeah. And so I want to do, like I said, we had done all the pre-runner trips, but now that we've got the crawlers, I want to do kind of I want to do like, I've got to put coilovers on my 4Runner before I'm ready for this.
For the front, you're saying?
Yeah, because if right now it's like
up travel's hard with
covered
these
wag.
things.
I have 2 inches of up travel, so I can't really go fast. But I want to do like a pre-runner, like maybe start in Johnson Valley, like run a Hammers Trail, and then shoot over to Mojave Road, do Mojave Road, and then like say I don't even know what the route is, but like end up in. Like, it'd be cool to do something through Death Valley and then end up in, like, Rubicon. Yeah. And run Rubicon Fordyce, but we're, like, doing, like, desert, pre-runner stuff.
Choose a destination and then hit a trail.
And do it over, a 5-day trip.
Let me know if you want a little samurai tag along, I would love to do that. I've been kicking around kind of the same thing in my head, like do, like, a SoCal crawl tour and just be like, we're starting here. Yeah. Be ready. And then... kind of like a wannabe Unreal Adventure. Yeah. But I just like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like...
I don't know who else wants to do something like that.
I mean, with like, the pre-kids, we were always out, like, we would map, Mojave Road. We would just basically make stuff on Google Earth. And like, oh, hopefully this works, and we go check out stuff, and it's like, I want to do that, but do it with the crawlers. Kind of do both.
Yes, I love it.
There's so many different... rad zones that you could go explore, but it's just now the problem is with kids, and where time is not as abundant as it used to be.
Imagine, dude. I don't know about you, but what it was like when you were younger, or when I was younger, it was like I got so much time, but like no money. Yeah. And so like all of the work I did on my junk was just like why don't you pay someone to do that? It's like, because I don't have any money, but I got tons of time. Yeah. And then now 100%. You would think I had money and no time, but I'm still kind of fighting.
That's it, dude. It's like, obviously you just make it work.
You're killing it though.
Thanks.
I don't know. I don't
know what I'm doing, but we're doing it.
You're doing a lot. I don't know how you do it. I started like this high desert crawlers like club, and thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna start organizing cleanups. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna get an LLC. But like, it's been like 2 years, and like I haven't done any of it. Granted, I get out with some cool guys, and I do attend cleanups, but they're not ones that I organize and stuff like that. But I would like to go in that direction, but I need to freaking...
Yeah, it's always like, you can always do more, but then again, it's like the time, and obviously you want to be present, for your kids, and, real work and all that, and so it's like, with like the cleanups, obviously we do the King of the Canners thing for Hammers, and I want to do other cleanups and all kinds of stuff. But it's just like I don't know with what time, but figure it out slowly. But it's been super cool. Just this whole project with creating all started with the Instagram, and then we got the form, and that it's so wild to think like. I built a forum. I literally had no idea what I was doing. I went on the forum software site. Got the domain. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I've been on a bunch of forums like Desert Rangers, Pirate, Irate, Race Desert. Been on all those, so I'm like, okay, I kind of know the rough topics that we should have, and built the skeleton, and then just kind of put it out there. I was like, hey, I started this forum, and then 50, 100 people sign up, and it's like now it's I think 2,500 members, and then it's like just building this little community.
I love it,
and it's rad. You coming here, that I wouldn't even know you if I didn't do that. Maybe we would have met on Instagram, but it's just cool. And then, for you or any of the forum members or anybody listening to this, if they want to check out your truck, we're talking about this, obviously we'll have the photos throughout this podcast, but hey, you want to see how he did this, what you did a trip here. Yeah. You're going to be on the Unreal Adventure. You could post it up there.
We'll see.
Go look at it.
Yeah, if I go, I'll definitely do a thread on it and give you guys a spiel.
Yeah, and it's like with... you're having a problem with, hey, I can't figure this out, and you can ask people questions, and people are willing to help. It's been cool to create this little community.
And your community is super cool. Badlands has been super cool. I mean, you've been on Pirate, everyone's just like, oh yeah, and I remember snooping around Desert Rangers and stuff. And after being on Pirate, like I was like, I didn't say anything. I was just like creeping on everyone's stuff because I already got flamed. Yeah. Because I was like a kid, I didn't know a whole lot and stuff. And then
it's been. I mean, I feel like with Instagram, it's like you have people are just like keyboard warriors, and they're just you post something up and they just want to talk trash.
Yeah.
And it's like a little bit of that's fine.
That's cool. Yeah. Good fun.
Yeah.
Buddies.
But like so far on the forum, it's been I guess to take the steps at this day and age to join a website instead of this like instant reward social media app. It's just it's kind of a different cut of. I don't want to say different person, but it's like takes a different person if they're going to take the time to do that to like answer questions or fill out their whole build thread. So I don't know. That's
good. Slows people down a little bit from the little 3-second clips. Yeah. And helps them to engage better. Yeah. Like I like actually having conversations, not just showing little things about how great their life is.
Yeah, and it's like say another guy's got a samurai and he's like goes on your thread or is like, oh, how do you do that? Like, can ask you questions. Instagram, you could do that too. Facebook. Hey, I can't deal with the Facebook group deal. I mean, we like.
I don't do
we have you can link Instagram to Facebook, and then it'll like if you post on Instagram, it'll
that's
post.
What mine does.
But other than that, like there's just I don't know if I'm just dumb, but there's just so many different options and things going on there. I'm like, dude,
it's a spider web now. I'm just like, what happened to just the basic?
Yeah. So.
Not that I'm tech savvy, anyways, but.
Nah. But it's I mean obviously you rewired a second.
Oh, that's all analog, bro.
Wiring diagrams. That's wild.
Yeah. Goodness.
But yeah, man, it's been cool, and you'll have to keep me updated on your. I'm sure you'll shout it from the mountaintops if you get the golden ticket. You're gonna be like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Right? I know.
Your brother's gonna be like Grandpa, like gets out of bed and he's all of a sudden he's good.
If I was really tech savvy, I'd make a cool like edit of something happening.
Grandpa Joe. I was talking with a buddy about that. Like, it's kind of messed up in Charlie and the
dude.
Factory. They're all just chilling in bed, and then like all of a sudden, Buddy's just good. You're like, dude, you could have been out. You
I know. How pissed off was that mom? Like this whole time I've been wiping your butt. Like.
Oh man. But yeah, so thanks for coming out and thanks for tuning in and check out his Instagram. It's high_desert_crawlers.
That's it.
And Daniel Smith. And scope out the build thread on the forum. What's the name of the thread?
Small and Light Sammy, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, so I'll link it on the YouTube and the Spotify. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.